You got this, Steven.
Yeah, lately, I think he's needed collaborators, not a director. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean that makes yeah.
But yeah, Spielberg. When Spielberg gives you a note, you're not going nah.
No, I'm gonna do it my way. Yeah, right.
But
yeah, I mean overall, I like. I guess like because of the movies you named and then like some of the movies I named, like it's kind of like in different categories. So I don't think it's like one specific, action movie or drama that he's done. Like obviously he's still versatile, even if it's he's sticking with the action movies mostly nowadays.
I mean, they make money. I think he enjoys. I think he's just doing it to stay in shape. I think you had a great point on that.
Yeah, that seems accurate.
The
Hey,
one
but
thing,
that not to derail this, but that one Michael Douglas movie it runs in the family. It's 3 generations of Douglas. I just had to bring it up.
I like Three Douglases and a Baby better.
Yeah, better. Yeah, it sounds better.
The one thing I wish I didn't do for this is I did the inflated international box office average, so which means you have to go to each country and look up the inflation for each country and how much they made.
Yeah.
Which was a nightmare.
Yeah, I imagine. You didn't want to just stick with domestic?
Well, I just think he's such a worldwide box office star.
I mean, he is, yeah.
That I wanted to stick with worldwide box office.
Domestic I remember
would have been so much easier.
Well, I remember renting Vanilla Sky after it came out and like getting it from Blockbuster and like watching it and then going through the extras because I loved like the DVD extras because it was like DVDs were pretty new at that point still, and I remember like he was huge in like Japan when that movie came out. Like people in Japan were like big on Vanilla Sky. I don't remember why. I just remember it was like a big thing there.
You got mobbed.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that was crazy.
So I figured with that backdrop and him being an international star, and if you look at how much money the Mission Impossible movies make overseas,
yeah,
I just thought it would be a little bit of a disservice to do that. And also, I kind of want to do inflation as well because if you think about The Firm, if you think about A Few Good Men, Jerry Maguire, those movies did action movie numbers.
Right.
But if I just did domestic, they wouldn't nearly match.
That's true.
The worldwide tally of that. So I figured this was the best way to do it, but it was a nightmare. It created a wild amount of work for me, and I won't do that again. I'll just do domestic inflated because the numbers and Box Office Mojo, they have all that. So it's a lot easier for me to do.
I'll find it all, yeah.
Oh man, I just wanted to barf. But I mean, at the end of the day, dude, I did the work and it did well. So I think it was worth the.
Is it one of your favorites that you've done, like out of all the data collecting?
Or nah,
it's not in your top 5.
No, I adore it, but it's just counting. It's pausing frame. I love my It Follows one where I mapped everything in It Follows and figured it out. And the producers, they don't want me to they said not to name their names, but they emailed me and messaged me and said this was spot on how far the It Follows creature travels. I loved my Adam Sandler data. I love my jet ski data. So I think those are my favorite because they're just the weirdest. I mean, this is the most kind of corporate and big.
Straightforward. Yeah, straight.
But yeah, I didn't find any creativity to it.
That makes sense.
But I as far as views go, I love it. But it's not the one that had me the most excited.
Right.
So, yeah. But dude, thanks for joining. Anything else you want to cover on this? This was cool.
Yeah, I think we got it. I mean, we went all over the place with Tom Cruise. I mean, we covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah, this was good. I'm really happy you joined me. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
Promote your stuff one more time, and also Squid Lake.
Oh, Squid Lake.
I just want to say, I don't know if anybody can ever find that episode ever again, but I do love that we said that people were just standing and clapping the entire time. They just so I came up with a fake movie called Squid Lake that only played once in a theater and it caused a riot.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love that people just started standing and clapping.
Are your older episodes still up?
I have all of them. Yeah.
All the way from episode 1?
Yeah, because we got that good deal. So.
I know. I love that deal.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, we love Spreaker and iHeartRadio.
Yeah, yeah. I hope that deal never goes away. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, but Seven Lamb Productions, that's my company. And if you look up Seven Lamb, anywhere you listen to podcasts, all of the podcasts that we produce are gonna show up. Most of which are audio dramas. Some of the most popular ones are Paralyzed, which is horror; End of All Hope, which is sci-fi apocalyptic; Tower 4, which is a mystery thriller; Story, which is a drama. Well, it's a drama for the first season, and the next season is a thriller because every season is a different story. And then Atlas Avenue Beat, which is a film noir spoof. I might be forgetting one. Oh, Crystal Blue is our new sci-fi series, like just straight sci-fi. All of those are in the top 250, top 250 on Apple Podcasts, so they're all doing really well. And actually, I think 5 of them are actually in the top 100 right now. So that's awesome, and hopefully going to keep pushing out new episodes, but they just take a long time.
Dude, you're crushing it. Makes me happy.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I want to keep it going.
Also, I want to say hi to everybody in Spain right now, and let's see where else: Turkey, Israel, Taiwan, Peru, and the Dominican Republic. Because currently we're doing really well in those countries. So if you're listening from that country, thank you so much for tuning in and getting me on the charts for that.
Do you think it's English listeners?
Yeah, it's gotta
speakers?
Be. It's gotta be.
Because they don't convert it, right?
No.
You'd have to convert it yourself.
But on the charts, I'm right there with all the other podcasts from the countries themselves. So I guess it must be the. But I think I'm the Paul W.S. Anderson of podcasts, which I love him, but his movies make bank overseas. But then he does decent in the States. Like the show does well here. We chart, we do fine. I think the highest I've been 22 on the film review charts on Apple Podcasts. Okay. Like that's good.
Yeah.
But I keep popping up at number 1 in like Africa, South America. I have a good world. I was number 3 in Taiwan recently. Number 3 in Israel. So no, I was number 3 in New Zealand, Australia. So I feel like I have a good international audience, and I really. So
you're the Paul W.S. Anderson, but you want to be the Paul Thomas Anderson?
No way, man! I'm Paul W.S. all day. Let me tell you something.
That's the only time. I think that's the only time somebody's excited about being compared to Paul W.S. Anderson.
Let me tell you something real quick.
Oh, don't! You're gonna stick up for him.
He's okay. Okay, you know? just give me. Hear me out. Just hear me out.
Go ahead.
Okay.
But I want to rebuttal after this.
This guy. So I just think he is a wildly unpretentious director who cares about his fans, includes commentary tracks on every single Blu-ray. With Mortal Kombat, the finale had Robin Shou, a Hong Kong actor, in '95 before Jackie Chan was blowing up in a final fight. So the lead wasn't some just stock Johnny Cage. It was Liu Kang. So the finale was won by Robin Shou. And then he moves into Event Horizon with Lawrence Fishburne as the captain. He had this really cool, diverse cast. He really subverted expectations. Then he does Resident Evil with Mila Jovovich that makes over $1 billion in a female-led action film. Sanaa Lathan was the star in AVP, and she became an honorary Yautja in that. And that movie had the biggest opening for a black actress up until Us. So I think this guy has embraced diverse. He just put out Monster Hunter with Mila Jovovich and Tony Jaa, like one of the greatest action actors of this century. I think he's this director who has embraced unpretentious filmmaking with international casts, with diverse casts, with different he's really gone out of his way. I think not gone out. I don't think he really cares. I think he just casts actors he likes.
Yeah, he probably just casts who he likes.
And he's never bragged some people are like, look at my cast, Marvel, they're like, hey, we finally have a woman in the lead. It's like, cool, 12 years later. But he's been making these movies. He hasn't been making a big deal about anything. He has a lot of repeat people working with him. The guy who won the production design Oscar for Shape of Water worked with him before it and learned a lot from him. I think he's a filmmaker who loves movies, who embraces international casts. He understands foreign markets. And I really think people don't give him the props he deserves, because I think the narrative is against him. But all these people are complaining. He's been doing what people want, like talk about including in film since '95. But then somehow they're like, he's a vulgar auteur. Like James Cameron loves Resident Evil. Quentin Tarantino put Three Musketeers in his top 10. Like Directors like him and
Yeah.
actors like him. So I just have a hard time with all the hate on him.
This is all I'm gonna say. I understand all that. I just wish it wasn't like all kind of like spectacle action and a little bit, just a little bit more character moments and a little bit more like I think the first Resident Evil to me is like it's watchable. I thought it was okay. As a Resident Evil film, I don't like it because I'm a huge Resident Evil fan of the video games and it's nothing like the video games.
Have you watched
But
Raccoon City, the latest one?
oh god, that one sucked.
Oh,
Yeah, did you watch it?
well, I kind of liked it because, listen, there's
I,
nothing thrilling about it. There's nothing exciting about it. There's no surprises in it. But I watched it on an airplane and I was totally happy.
oh well, yeah. I mean, again, like it was watchable. It was, and I liked it that it tried to do more with the Resident Evil lore and actually keeping it more centered on the story of the video games, which I thought was good, and I enjoyed that. But it was also it felt I don't know. There's like it didn't, at least with Paul W.S. Anderson's Resident Evil. There's a little bit of suspense, at least in the first one. Like I felt like the first one actually balanced it a little bit better than any of the subsequent ones, which I didn't like any of the sequels. But the first one I still think like, like that laser sequence that was unique. Now it's not in Resident Evil and that's not like a thing, but like in the movie I was like, oh, that was a suspenseful, like intense scene that like I haven't seen done before. So I respected it in that aspect. I just wish I liked more of his movies, which I just can't get into them. I just can't get into them. I try. But I love all the background stuff that you say. I agree with that. That's cool. I don't know. Like I don't even want to see Monster Hunter because I just feel like it's just
Oh, you'll hate it.
generic, action movie.
No one, like, he's one of the few people who have done what he's done. Make $1 billion grossing female led action franchise. He's
No,
just done,
yeah.
like, I don't know. It's kind of annoying that people hate on him, but they don't really realize how, like, I don't
Well,
need to talk
I
about it
don't
more.
think, well,
It's just,
I don't know if it's necessarily like. Do you think it's like for me? It's like I don't hate on him as much as I don't like the movies he's putting out. Like I'm not saying as like a person or like as a director. I do think he has some decent shots in his films, and I respect some of the aspects, like certain aspects of the films, like even AVP and stuff. But I just felt like none of them have ever like done anything for me. Where I was talking to like somebody, not to keep this going, but one of the guys I'm working with, he's like this producer of another production company for podcasts. He listened to Tower 4, which is a story we put out, and the first episode is really slow moving because I like writing just slow character driven stuff, even though it's a mystery thriller. But the real mystery doesn't really happen until the end of the episode. And I remember this executive producer was like, wow, like I found it odd, like you didn't have a lot of like, a lot of stuff happening. It was just more of, him going through his daily routine and then nothing really happens until the end. And I was like, yeah, because a lot of times you just need an intriguing story. You don't have to fill it with explosions and stuff all the time. Now, some movies, obviously, John Wick and stuff is full action and it works. But I'm just saying, like, some of the best action movies don't have a ton of action. I mean, I think Casino Royale is one of the best action movies, and I think Dark Knight is a great action comic book movie, and both of those probably have like a combined 15 minutes of action. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but that's just me.
I don't think he's trying to be the greatest action director ever made.
No.
I think he has his brand, and it's
I mean, he
bonkers.
definitely has his style for sure.
I just don't. People call him a trash auteur and a hack. It's like you don't exist in Hollywood since
No, I think he
1995.
loves. No, I think he loves films too. Like, I think he loves movies. To me, it's kind of like this might come out wrong, but it's kind of like somebody who's like, a high schooler slash college kid who just loves movies and then finally gets the chance to make one, and he just wants to make it so cool. And I think that's what he's kind of doing, is he just wants to make a cool movie to watch, which I respect. Like, that's his style and everything like that. I wish there was just a little more story to them. Like, no, in no way is he like a Yui Bowl or however you pronounce that,